Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Early Bird. The playoff report is in. We're going to talk about yesterday's 4 games. Let's not waste any time. Let's go right into it. 4 excellent games, I thought. I'll just give a quick rundown of each game. I don't want to drag this out. Let's go into the numbers of the Florida-Boston game. Here we go. All right, the Panthers outshoot them 32-29. The face-off's pretty even, 48% to 52%. Everything looks even right here so far. 0 for 2 on the power play for the Panthers, 1 for 2 for the Bruins. And playoff hockey is back, folks. Look at that, 44 hits to 43. For those of you that believe hitting's not an important statistic, I encourage you to watch this video and concentrate on how many hits teams were throwing out yesterday. 44 hits to 43. Blocks, 16 for the Panthers, 20 for the Bruins. And the Panthers had 15 giveaways. The Bruins had 12. Shots on goal. First period, 15-8 Florida. Second period, 9-8 Florida. And I would tell you, but those stats might be a little misleading. I thought the Bruins had the way better quality chances. And third period, Florida had 8. The Bruins had 13. Pretty much, I thought Boston kind of put Florida to sleep, it felt like, in this game. That's how it felt to me. 32-29, again, Florida for the game. Scoring? Pasternak opens it up in the first period from Bertuzzi and Krejci at 5:58 on the power play, 1-0. And Marchand makes it 2-0 for McAvoy and Orlov. And you would think right there the game's over. You're probably right. Matthew Tkachuk replies, unassisted, 2-1. And then Jake DeBrusk from Bertuzzi and Zacha at 17:32 of the second, 3-1 Bruins. Third period, no scoring. So this game here, the shots for me don't tell the tale. I thought the Bruins had were the better team in this game. I just thought they were. I thought the Bruins, their quality chances were just very good quality chances. This Bruins team is going to be hard to put down, folks. This is not going to be an easy Boston team to put away. Now that, Florida's almost, in my opinion, lost the series by not getting the first game. I don't see how Florida is going to get 4 of the next 6. I don't know. I thought Lyon was brilliant in nets for Florida, and he's what kept them in it. Yes, Ullmark looked solid, but Lyon had to look pretty awesome in the saves he made. He had to make some bang-on saves from the slot. I mean, the Bruins could have easily won this game. I thought 5-1, the way it played out, 6-1, really. So that's just my thoughts on that game. Next game, guys, the Islanders and the Hurricanes. Let's look at the numbers. Okay, the Hurricanes outshoot them 37-26. Face-offs even, 51% to 49. Islanders 0 for 4 in the power play. Hurricanes 2 for 4. Here we go again, 44 hits to 39 for the Islanders. 17 blocks for the Islanders, 16 for the Hurricanes. The Islanders had 9 giveaways. The Hurricanes had 14. Shots on goal. First period, 14-10 Carolina. Second period, 15-7 Carolina. And third period, 9-8 Islanders for that 37-26 for the game total. Now, scoring. Okay, Sebastian Aho opens up their playoffs with the first goal at 3:47 of the first from Burns and Nichas. And Nichas, I thought, played an amazing game. I thought, and not because he had the 2 assists, but he just an amazing game. 1-0 after 1. Then second period, Nason scores from Burns and Nichas. Again, here we go. 2-0 Carolina. And then Polak scores unassisted at 2:51. A very short time later, and that was it for the game, folks. The playoffs is back. The Islanders finished with a flurry. They did. They finished with a flurry, but I thought for the most part that the tempo was controlled by Carolina in this game, but the Islanders, I think full marks for losing, I could say by 1 goal, Overall in the game, the hitting was really good. I just love this time of the year, guys. There's so much, the hockey gets so much better. And the players play the old school hockey where, they're hitting everything in sight. Sorokin played great in nets. I could go on and on about this. Ranta played great in nets. We've seen a lot of, so far in this playoffs, we've seen in these two games I've reported on so far, good goaltending, good hitting, and tight games. They really are. They're tight games. Let's go now out to the West for the first one. Okay, the Kings and Oilers, folks. The Kings and Oilers. My goodness, we'll talk about this one. All right, the shots on goal, 35 for the Kings, 40 for the Oilers. The Oilers had good lead on the face-offs, 58% to 43. The Kings were 2 for 6 on the power play. The Oilers 1 for 3. The Kings had 49 hits. The Oilers had 50 hits. The block, 17 for the Kings, 19 for the Oilers. And the giveaways, 12 for the Kings, 18 for the Oilers. Shots on goal. First period, 9-6 Edmonton. Second period, 13-11 Edmonton. And third period, the Kings come on strong at the end, 14-7 Kings. And in the overtime, 11-4 Edmonton. Let's look at the scoring. First period, Draisaitl scores from Janmark at the 6:57 mark, 1-0 Oilers. Bouchard from Nugent-Hopkins and Hyman makes it 2-0 after 1. Second period, no scoring. Third period, Kempe. If I'm right, Kempe had a hell of a series last year against Edmonton. I'm going to have to check that out, but something tells me he did. I'm going to have to check that out. From Roy Kopitar, 2-1 in the first minute. Sorry, folks. 2-1 after 1 minute in. So they're back in it now, LA. Now they're back in it. But Draisaitl puts a dagger into that at the 8:46 mark. You would think the game is over from Kane. 3-1 Oilers. Kempe again replies with about 8.5 minutes left from Byfield and Kopitar to make it 3-2. And this is the big one, guys. Kopitar from Deneau and Arvidsson, but take a look at the time, 19:43, and the Oilers. I thought when I was watching this that they're going to hang on. It just felt like they were going to hang on, and I was really feeling bad for the Kings the way they came on because the Kings looked like the better team late in the game. And the Kings force overtime. My goodness, 3-3. Oilers scoring that overtime, but it was a high stick, didn't count, and Iafallo gets the goal at 9:19 from Arvidsson and Kopitar. And it was really the Kopitar show, I thought, kind of down the stretch in this game. His leadership really took over. Kings squeak out the upset in Game 1. So the Kings, folks, now have a chance to upset the Edmonton Oilers. Whenever you win the first game of a series, that's the thing. That's the key. That really is the key, guys. Getting the first game. If you get the first game, now that team's got to beat you 4 out of 6. It's not 4 out of 7 for them. It's 4 out of 6. For you, it's 3 out of 6. Big difference. You got to play 500 hockey. They got to play 667 hockey. All right, guys, final game of the night, which I thought was the best one by far. This was the most fun. For me, I was on the edge of my seat watching this game. Here we go. Okay, the Wild at Stars. The Wild had 48 shots on goal. The Stars had 54. The 44% on the faceoffs for the Wild. Stars had 57. The edge there. Wild 1 for 4 on the power play. The Stars 2 for 5. We'll talk about that later on. Hits in the game, 42 for the Wild, 50 for the Stars. The blocks for the Wild, 30 blocks, and the Stars 23. Wild had 14 giveaways, Stars had 12. Shots on goal. And yeah, there's a few periods to talk about here. The real overtimes are back. Minnesota outshoot Dallas in the first period 10-5. And then Minnesota outshoot Dallas in the second period 19-10. All Ottinger, I believed, by that point. I mean, this was the game I was kind of glued to the most last night. This one really took my interest. It was really, really good. Ottinger was brilliant in nets. Then take a look what happens. Dallas flipped the script. If you look, I mean, the next period's coming up here. So the third period, 12-7 for Dallas. Then the overtimes. Look at this. 17-6 Dallas, 10-6 Dallas, 54-48 shots on goal for the game. Dallas overtake the shots eventually, even though they were being outshot 29-15 at one point. Scoring? First goal of the game, Kaprizov opens it up at 19:12 of the first on the power play from Spurgeon and Zuccarello, 1-0. Then Hintz ties it up at the 2:08 mark. Looks like it was unassisted. Doesn't say. Oh, it does say there. Ben, sorry, my bad. Ben gets the assist there. Oh, right, the power play. Of course. What am I saying? Both. Yeah, this is why I wanted to talk about Dallas's 2 goals. And then at 4:13 of the second, Robertson from Heiskanen and Pavelski. Okay, make it 2-1. So the only 2 goals in the game they got were 2 minutes apart, both on the power play. They did not score on even strength yesterday. Dallas. They just didn't score on even strength. Then Sam Steele ties it up from Nyquist at 14:25 of the second. So 2-2 after 2. We go into the third. And there you see it, folks. No scoring. We go into the first overtime. No scoring. It was just a fun game. My goodness. Goes into double overtime. Ryan Hartman with the goal from Steele on a crazy bounce kind of in front of the net, as it always is in overtime. And Minnesota get the game 3-2. So I thought Minnesota played deserving enough to win the game. But my goodness, if you're Dallas, at the end, you feel kind of ripped off, you know. But Gustafsson in nets was brilliant. He was absolutely brilliant in the second half of the game. And Ottinger was brilliant in the first half of the game. But they were brilliant all throughout. The goaltending in this game was just fun to watch. It was just fun to watch. I wish we could see games like that all the time. So this Minnesota team are also now in the series. So both West teams lost their home games. It's going to be fun to watch out there, because if the Oilers ever get knocked out by the Kings, folks, this is going to be, it's going to make the playoffs even that much more interesting, really. Because really, if you asked me my Stanley Cup picks in order, I got Colorado, Edmonton, and Boston in that order. That's my 3 picks to win the Cup this year. Really. So if Edmonton get knocked out in the first round of this series, wow, you know. All right, guys, I'm ending it there. I'll have some regular videos for you Saberheads tonight, but I got to get this one up this morning. And I hope you guys enjoyed these games yesterday, because I know I did. I was beat like a pulp. I wanted to go to sleep after. But wow, was that worth staying up for that game? Gotta say. All right, folks, I'll see you tonight.